Hello and welcome to this second video on this series of how to go from an idea to a cookie cutter and a cookie. So today we are going to show you how to go from your vector file from Illustrator to the 3D model. There are many ways of doing that, and there are also many workflows. Today we are going to be talking about a workflow where we're using Adobe Illustrator Online. We're taking that file to Shapr3D, but you can also do that using Tinkercad and of course using Fusion 360. So today, just to keep it simple, we're going to be using Shapr3D, but you can also find online a lot of videos on how to do it with Fusion or with Tinkercad. Okay, so the first step is, now that we're here on Illustrator, is exporting our file. So I'm going to go here to the three lines and I'm going to say export as. And the easiest way to take this file, the lines, and import it to Shapr would be to export it as a .dxf file. But we have a problem with the Illustrator Online, and it only allows us to do that as SVG, which is standard vector graphics. So that is good enough. So we're gonna save it as SVG and we're gonna call it Alien Santa. Okay, so we're gonna export it and we're gonna download it into our downloads. All right, so here we have it. Now, because Shapr3D only accepts DXF vector files, we have to go to this small tool called CloudConvert. It's an SVG to DXF converter, so we can change the extension. So we're gonna say add more files. We're gonna put the Alien Santa file, the SVG that we had. There you go, open. So we say alien SVG convert to DXF, and then we say convert. Normally it takes a few seconds, and then we say download. All right, so now I have my DXF file. So far so good. We're done with the online part. Let's open our Shapr3D now. So once we're here in Shapr, you're going to start a new project. And once we start our project, we are going to go to the top view, move our X and Y axis a little bit, and then we're gonna go to File, Import to Current Project, and we're gonna look for aliensanta.dxf. We click Open, and we leave the unit in millimeters, import. And as you can see, we have our alien. We imported it already. We can say, okay, it's done. And then we can grab it here and we can edit the vectors. We can also move it around. So I'm gonna say move. I'm gonna pick everything. Just gonna move it to the origin. That is just good practice, so we know where this starts. Okay, very good. Now, as you can see, so far I have a two-dimensional file. I have some lines, and I can see also that I have some surfaces that are not closed. So if I want to go and make those surfaces or those areas closed, I can go here. If I zoom in, I can just go to the sketch, or I can grab one of the dots here and just drag it until it is touching the other line. And I think on this side was the same thing, so I'm gonna go there. Okay, and then I click escape, and now, oops, it looks like I still need to close it. Here's closed. Let's see, what about this one here? Interestingly enough, this is not closed yet, but it doesn't matter. We can leave it as it is. The next step, I'm gonna go to Tools, and I'm gonna look for Offset Edge. You can also click on your keyboard O, and then you're going to say offset edge, and then you're going to click here. And what we're doing is, as we analyze the cookie cutter has the outline or the silhouette, which is actually cutting. It's like a wall, and that wall has a width of around 2 mil. So you're going to grab here this command. Okay, so you're going to grab all the parts we want to create. So we're going to say here 2 mil. Let's do minus 2 mil, so it goes inwards. Okay, so 2 mil. Then we go with this one. We say O, click O, and then we say minus 2. Okay, so here we could make it a little bit smaller, all right? And then here the same, we go with minus 2. All right, so we can also go back to our sketch and trim some of those extra lines. For example, here we have some extra lines that we don't want. So we can cut those lines and then maybe close those lines. So this is a little bit some of the work we can do. So again, we trim. All right, good. So it's looking good. Here, for example, we have a double wall. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to grab my line and I'm just going to close it here and do it again on this side, because if I have a double line, it's going to cut just too much. So I will leave it as it is here, and then I'll just trim all of this. All right. So again, the more details you have in your sketch, you're probably gonna have to spend a little bit more time doing this, but it shouldn't be a problem. Now, this is also interesting. We have to see what elements of the cookie cutter are actually cutting the silhouette. So here, for example, this one should go all the way out, because that's going to be the part that is going to be actually cutting. So here I can cut this. The same here. So we add a line here. And then we cut this part. In order to define what part is cutting and which part is only details, we will be working with the height of the walls. So you're gonna see what we do later. I think a good way of testing if this works is by using some clay. All right, so here the same, just close it here. Okay. All right, so as you can see now, if I go here, I can click everything that is going to be the outline or the silhouette of my model. So now I can just go to the other perspective, go to this isometric perspective, click on the outside wall, and now I can extrude it. So maybe making it maybe, what is good, maybe 8 mil. Okay, so that's going to be the outside, and then we need to work with the inside. Oh, as you can see, I also took this line here, so I'm going to try to erase that. So apparently here this is not closed. Oh, there you go, look, this line is not closed, so we should close it here. There you go. What about here? There you go. All right, let's do this process again. And again, it's a lot about trial and error. Okay, and now we select this wall, extrude, we said 8. Maybe let's go with 10, right, 10. And now as you can see, I only have that wall, and now I need to do the elements that are going to be details. So we have this, we have this, and we have the eyes too. Okay, great. And these ones are just gonna be making the details, so I'm just gonna make them maybe 5 mil, maybe 6. All right, like that. Okay, so far so good. Now if I were to print that, this line here on the hat would be attached to the silhouette, no problem. This line here of the forehead will also be attached to the model. But what happens with the eyes? Well, the eyes are not attached. So on the back, I need to create a sketch here to actually attach the eyes somehow to the frame. So I can just go ahead and draw something like this, like a rectangle that will make the eyes stick to the, right, like this. So, and then I'm gonna make this piece, oops, sorry about that. So I'm gonna make this. I think the upper perspective is easier. All right, so I'm gonna grab this. It's getting confused because I'm using two sketch, so I'm gonna grab them from back like this. There you go. Almost there. All right, so we flip this around and we say extrude. And we just go a little bit here, maybe 2 mil, 3 mil. Okay, and we're almost done. So now we have all our details, all right? So the last thing would be, if we want to make it improve this mold a little bit, we can have, or we can make a small adjustment here in the walls. We can add a fillet on the wall, so we can click this wall and then make this fillet. If you go out a little bit, let's go inside and then make a fillet. So now it's going to be pointy. It's going to take a while to generate it, so we do that like this. Okay, very good. So now it's pointy, and now we just have to go export. We say export to STL file. You're gonna call it Alien Santa 3D print, and we open our 3D printer software, and we can add it here. Open. So here we can see it. our model, and then we can simulate how this is going to be printed. So we say preview, and here we can see our model. So the next step is to 3D print it, and then of course test it. So this is more or less how the 3D printer is going to be working. Alright, see you on the next video, and let me know if you have any questions on the comments.